Hello and welcome to part one of this special Total Waterpolo podcast Champions League Final Four preview. I'm delighted to be joined by Prorecco's Francesco de Fulvio. Hi Francesco, how are you doing?
Hello, James. Ciao, Dino. How are you doing?
Yeah, good. I'm also joined by Olympiacos' captain, Konstantinos Genidounias. Hi Kostas, welcome back to the podcast.
Hi guys, good to see you.
Yeah, thanks both for your time ahead of the Final Four. Obviously, there's a massive game between Prorecco and Olympiacos next Wednesday, the 5th of June. So we'll start with you, Francesco. Obviously, we're all heading to Malta. You ever played there before?
No, I have a tournament with national team, but in December, but that's it. So it will be first time with the Recco.
Yeah. You ever been there, Konstantinos? You ever been to Malta?
Actually, no, it's going to be the first time. Never played there. And I've heard there's a bunch of wild water polo fans. So I'm sure it's going to be very exciting next week.
Yeah, they love it. The ultras, they absolutely have a passion for water polo on the island. So Konstantinos, this season, obviously, just before we sort of preview the game, obviously we've had a new format in the Champions League. How has this impacted you guys? And have you enjoyed the change of the format, or do you miss the previous format?
On the one hand, I think it made the Champions League a little bit more exciting. Especially the second round, competing with Ferencváros and Brescia and Barceloneta. We had all of them were very exciting games and very competitive. So it was good for the fans, especially. There wasn't much. There weren't a lot of solutions because of the national team break this season. So I think overall, having 2 months off, 3 months off for a national team, it was the best, Len could have done with the Champions League. I don't know if I miss the old format, to be honest. I think Francesco will agree to, final 8 or final 6 in the previous years. It wasn't the best solution because when you have to play 3 games in a row that will define your season, it's not good. So obviously Final Four is better, having 1 game and then a day rest between and then go play in the final or the third place game. I think I'm liking this format better.
Yeah, do you agree with that, Francesco?
Yeah, I do agree with him because, as he said, I think it's the best formula with this World Championship and European Championship during the season. So I think they did a great job. I never played Final Four so far, so I think Dino's neither. So I can't wait to play. It will be for sure 4 matches for high level. And I'm excited to play. I'm excited to go to Malta, and yes, we will see this new formula. Is it work or not? But I'm sure it will. But we will see.
Yeah, and obviously Prorecco take on Olympiacos. We're talking 2 powerhouses of European water polo. Let's just go through some of the facts of the history of this game. The thing I would say about this is that when you guys play, it's sort of close every single time. We look at the last 3 games. Recco has won by 1 goal in each of them, which sort of underlines how close this fixture tends to be. So far this season, obviously Prorecco have scored the most goals, 164, and conceded the least, so 106. But that said, Olympiacos are the only team so far this season to score more than 10 against Prorecco this season. In the Champions League, obviously Ortigia did it the other day, although that was a 18-11 game, so it was sort of a done deal. So, Francesco, we'll start with you. Obviously, you're the reigning champion. No team has ever won the Champions League 4 times in a row. Mlados came closest with 3 in 1960s, 1967-70, I think it was. That obviously tells you how difficult this is. How difficult it looks a lot easier. But how difficult actually has this journey been so far?
First of all, thanks for this detail, because I didn't know about our goals and then goals, so thank you to refresh our mind. But yes, as you said, games against Olympiacos were always until 1 minute to the end, both of us could win. So I'm expecting the same kind of match there. I think I'm watched their match lately of Olympiacos in Italy, in Greek Championship and in Champions League. I think they improve all of their games, but we did the same. So the level will be higher than in Malta. We will play both of us in a new pool, so will be a surprise for us. But I think we have to keep our concentration, our level of defense so high for period, because as I said, until last minute, every teams could win. No one of us, Olympiacos and Greco, we will win for sure 4 or 5 goals. So we have to improve more in this week. We are going to prepare the match in very, very details, and trust in our coach Stukno, trust in our physical coach. So I think there will be a battle for periods.
Obviously, all 4 teams that are arriving here they're winners. I mean, it's the Champions League. It's called that for a reason. You're all winners, but obviously Pro Recco have gone up and beyond that in the Champions League. Not to say that it gets boring winning, because it obviously doesn't. But how do you keep motivating yourself after you achieve these goals year after year? How hard is that?
But we don't have to find motivation in something else. We have to play 2 matches in the last 2 in a season. I think that the motivation are inside every player. But I think for us, for them, for Fradi, for Novi, they have to be proud to be there to play this kind of games, because we are training since September to play this kind of games. So we have just to enjoy, because we are doing what we likes and what we loves. And I'm playing. I'm training from September for this kind of games. So I can't wait to play. For sure, there are 3 others great team who will want to be champions, and we need to keep our head down, concentrate, continue to work to put in. How can I say, to put ourselves in the best position to be successful and champions. Olympiacos will do the same, Fradi will do the same, Novi will do the same. So, as I said, would be 4 matches the higher level.
Well, you said you were impressed by my stats. Konstantinos, I'm coming to you now. Hopefully you're impressed by them in a minute. But just before we go into those, there's obviously been a few changes this season at Olympiacos. Obviously a change of coach and new players. How has this season felt compared to previous years that when you've been part of the team?
Yeah, our new coach, Coach Kolyanin, he was our assistant coach a few years ago when we won the Champions League in 2018. Most of us have actually played with him when he played for Olympiacos before he became a coach. I played with him 15 years ago in my old club team. So I've known him for a while. Most of the guys have known him for a while. So from day one, the relationship was there. We knew what to expect from him. He knew what to expect from us. So the chemistry was right there from the beginning. And honestly, it has been one of the best seasons because of our coach. It went by smoothly. He wasn't too nervous about what was going on during the season, what happened with our injuries, a lot of injuries this season, then the break with the national team. He knew exactly, how to react to everything. So compared to the previous seasons, especially last season, it was a bumpy ride for various reasons. However, that's in the past. I think everybody's very pleased with our new coach. The team chemistry has been awesome, especially after the break for the national team. We have been playing better. All the guys are really into it, really focused on what we have been doing. I think we haven't played a bad game. I think only our first final against Vudarmeni a few days ago was bad. And maybe our game against Ferencváros in Hungary, but there we were without 3 players. So yeah, everything has been going smoothly, and just like Francesco said, we've been training all year long for this. We won the cup, we won the championship, and why not the Champions League? I think we're going to be competitive. Obviously, Pro Reco is the favorite all the time. It's like they're like Real Madrid in football. They're always there. You know what they're capable of. We know all the players are magnificent players. So just like Francesco said, I'm sure it's going to be a high level tournament next week in Malta. But we've been close to them all games, and I think just like again Francesco said, they've been doing better. I think we'll be doing better too the past couple of months. So it's definitely going to be a very exciting game.
For sure. Olympiacos at the moment in the Champions League, they're the leading team in 2 defensive stats, the most blocks and the most saves. However, in the most important defensive stat, I'd say, they've conceded the most goals from all the teams that are in the Final Four, 117 in total. That sort of suggests you're allowing your teams to get those shots away, but obviously that's a really dangerous thing to do against a team like Reco. So do you think you should try and reduce these shooting opportunities, maybe playing longer attacks or pressing a little bit higher, or is this something you're comfortable with, obviously trusting your blocks and obviously 2 great goalkeepers behind you?
If you want to win Pro Reco or you want to win a Champions League, your defense has to be better, obviously. I don't want to make any excuses. We had some of the toughest opponents to face, so it's not always easy to stop them. We, just like I said before, we played Pro Reco and Juk Dubrovnik in the beginning of the season. Then we played Barceloneta, Ferencváros, and Brescia, all good teams, or all offensively talented teams. But yeah, if you want to win a game against Pro Reco, you have to be perfect, almost perfect in defense. The previous times we beat them, it was because of our defense, mostly. So if we want to have any luck next Wednesday, our defense has to be way better and allow definitely less than 10 goals.
For sure. And obviously Olympiacos hasn't lifted the Champions League since 2018. And that year you obviously defeated Reco 9-7 in the final. I think maybe it's fair to say since that final in the competition, you haven't quite found your best, your rhythm. I mean, you didn't, for example, make the final 8 in 2022. So what has the team's mindset been this year as you've prepared all season long to bring that Champions League trophy back to Greece?
Yeah, it was a difficult period for Olympiacos. Okay, we made the final in 2019 in Germany, Hanover. Losing to Ferencváros in the penalties was, one of the most painful games I've played in my career. Then it was COVID, and then after COVID, obviously the club had some financial issues, and we had to reduce the budget, so we couldn't be as competitive as we wanted to be. However, we came back. Olympiacos is a big club with millions of fans all around the world, and there's a lot of financial aid coming from different places, from the football team, the basketball team, our president. So we knew we would come back, and it's not always easy, out of the blue to just bring a group of people and suddenly become competitive and go win the Champions League. It takes time. So I think, the past few years, 2022 when we didn't qualify in the final 8, last year where we qualified but we weren't competitive enough. It built character for us. Most of the guys have been together. So I think I won't say that we're ready, that we're prepared, but I think definitely the past few years has helped us grow as a team and build character. So, coming into this Final Four, it's also about luck. It's also about conditioning. It's some days it's, it's who's going to be in a better condition, just who's going to have a better day. So definitely these past few years has helped us, and I hope we just show it in the water when it's game time.
Yeah, I think you guys are in really good shape, and I think it's really important that Olympiacos are there, and not just there, but also competing. And I think this season, more than for the reasons that you've said, in the last few seasons, it hasn't necessarily been the case, but it's great to see such a big club back and hopefully competing. Francesco, I mean, Konstantinos just said that Olympiacos will need to be perfect in defence if they stand any chance of beating Recco. And you guys, you rarely concede more than 10 goals in the Champions League. Obviously, Olympiacos did that this season. Actually, Novi Beograd managed to score 11 last season. And I'm sort of interested where this focus comes from. Is it Sandro, who insists on sort of keeping focus in the defence rather than the offence, maybe? And how do you sort of maintain this level of performance during the match?
No, yes, because we understood that to win a match, but first of all, trophy, we had to put our defense to higher level. For example, in last matches against Savona and Italy final, we were 9-0. We received goals for 3 periods. We passed through a bad period after Italy Cup against Brescia. We lost in penalties, and actually after Doha, we came back not with the right attitude, not to the right head, because a lot of us plays with the national team, other countries, and was not easy. It's not easy to be in a good shape mentally and physically for 10 months with a lot of competition. But yes, Sandro gave us this attitude, and now defense first thing for us. It's on our DNA. So we are not at 100% of our shape. We know that, and as Olympiacos has to do their best for beat Recco, we have to do the same for beat Olympiacos, because as I said, would be a high level match. There will be 26 champions in the pool, so 2 great goalkeeper, maybe the best in the world, Biac and Del Lungo. So we know that will be not easy for us, not even for them. So once again, I can't wait to play because I like to play this kind of games.
Well, that's really set the scene, to be honest, and I think we'll leave it there. It's going to be a fascinating match, an extremely exciting contest. I can't wait, and I wish you both the best, and hopefully catch up with you guys in Malta.
Thank you.
Sounds good, James. Thank you. Good to see you.
Hello there, and welcome back to the second part of this very special Total Waterpolo podcast episode, the Champions League Final Four preview. We're really, really fortunate to be joined by one of the world's best players to join us with our preview today, Novi Beograd's Alvaro Granados. Alvaro, how are you? Welcome.
Hello. Thanks very much for this interview, and I'm doing fine, yes.
Yeah, you're calling us from Montenegro, I believe, on a training camp before the Final Four. How's it going?
Yeah.
How's the preparations?
Yeah, that's right. Good, pretty good. We came here yesterday, and we will be here until Friday. And I think it's a good chance for the team to be together and have good practice in a great pool here in Herceg-Novi. So try to enjoy and try to get ready for Final Four.
Yeah, and obviously that first game that you'll be playing is against Ferencváros, a really, really tough game, obviously the champions of Hungary. But we'll talk about that in a second. You've obviously enjoyed the last few Champions Leagues at home in Belgrade. You've hosted the tournament. But is it now nice to move away from Belgrade? Are you looking forward to going to Malta instead of that pressure being at home?
Honestly, for me, it wasn't a pressure last year. It was opposite. It was super nice to play in Belgrade because, the pool was super nice. The tournament was super well organized and I really enjoyed, so it wasn't a kind of pressure for me. But also, I think it will be very nice to go to Malta. There is I think it is a country that they live Waterpolo 100% and they are so passionate about this sport. So I think that it will be very, very nice, and for sure the tournament will be super well organized and the crowd will be full. I hope, but I think it will be like this. So pretty excited to go to Malta.
Yeah. Us too. We're all really excited, but obviously for Novi Beograd and for yourself, it's been sort of a double heartbreak the last few seasons. I think maybe it's fair from the outside anyway, that maybe there's less expectation than there was in previous seasons. But I know you guys aren't focusing on that necessarily. But what experiences do you take from those disappointments in Belgrade into this Final Four competition?
Well, first of all, I think this is a team that it's made for winning Champions League. So it's obvious and it's normal that if we don't win, it's a big, I won't say tragedy, but it's, I don't know. It's not to lose. It's not on the plan of this team. That the team was made to win everything. But also, I think it's a part of a process. I think it's almost impossible to build one team and in the next year to win Champions League. This is, I think no one did this before, and it's very difficult. It's kind of a process. But this team, it's in that process. I hope, and now we are more together. I feel like now in this moment we are in the best moment so far in the last two seasons. That's my feeling. And even though I know it will be very difficult, I think we are prepared. We are, I don't know, we are in the perfect moment to go to Malta. And this is sport; everything can happen. But I'm really optimistic about this Final Four.
Yeah, sure. And obviously, as we've said, you'll be playing against Ferencváros. What do you know about them? What can you tell us about how difficult that game will be?
It will be very, very hard for sure. That's for sure. They have amazing roster. They combine almost almost every player from Hungary national team. That they are amazing. And they add the Soma, Mandic, Agiropoulos. They have an amazing roster, but we do. We have also an amazing roster. It will be, I think, amazing Waterpolo game to watch, and I expect a big battle. But like I said before, I'm very optimistic, very excited, and just try to look forward to this game and try to enjoy as much as I can.
This season, obviously, Ferencváros, they've scored the most action goals. But they also have the lowest shot percentage on the extra player out of all the Final Four teams. It's quite low compared to the others. Do you think that this is something that you can take advantage of and be more aggressive when they have their power play? Well,
I'm not a huge fan of statistics because this is one game and everything can happen. it doesn't matter the statistics before. I'm not a huge fan of it, but I don't know. We will try to. We are already doing the preparation for this game. Like I said, they have amazing roster. They have a lot of things to look at. But I don't know how to say this. It will be one game, one war, and in the end, nothing matters. Just to go 100%, and that's it.
Yeah. I know you don't like statistics, but I will just tell you one more just to ask my question. Novi Beograd this season in the Champions League are earning the most exclusions, drawing the most personal fouls, and it's not really a surprise given the quality of your centre forwards, plus the likes of Jaksic and Pakis and Radulovic as well, who always are looking to go and set where they can, especially with a mismatch player. But is this quite a different style that you're used to compared to in Spain? Obviously, you can do both. But which sort of style of play do you prefer? Do you prefer going in and setting when you know that you can take somebody in at centre and earn an exclusion?
Like you said, we combine two amazing center forwards with a lot of guys that can do a double center, and that's why I think we have more exclusion than any other team. I didn't know, but I guess it's true. And but for me, it's perfect because I like to play man up, and it's nice. And about your question, I don't know. I feel pretty good with this kind of playing. It's, like you said, very different from national team of Spain. But in the end, I try to do my job. That it's to be very aggressive in attack, and that's it. But I'm really, really comfortable with this kind of style.
Yeah, and just before we sort of leave it there. This may or may not be the last time we see you playing for Novi Beograd. I know you won't want to talk about your future past that, but so how great would it be to sort of cap off this last few years with a Champions League trophy, the competition, the award that you're really, really searching for?
Yeah, it will be amazing, and it's for sure it's the goal of, like I said before, this team was made in the very beginning to win final Champions League, and I think we are in the best moment so far in these last 2 seasons. I see the team very, very good, and I'm really optimistic, like I said before. But also, like I said before, this is sport and everything can happen. So I will try just to enjoy this competition, and we will see what happens.
Yeah, just before we go, Alvaro, you've proven yourself to be a really, really big game player. So do you think we can expect sort of a back shot in the last minute, like in the semi-final, like we saw in Croatia, or what have you got up your sleeve?
Well, how to expect that? I don't know. I think this was one thing that it happens once in a lifetime. There is no. I mean, I think it was luck, 100%. But I don't know. Happy for it. I didn't plan to do it, and I didn't plan to do it again. But it can happen again. I don't know. But I don't know if I will be same lucky like before.
No, well, we hope so, and obviously we know it's going to be an amazing match. So I wish you all the best, and we can't wait to see you in action in Malta. Thank you very much for your time.
Thanks to you, and see you soon.
Welcome back to part 3 of our special Total Waterpolo podcast Champions League Final 4 preview. I'm over the moon to welcome an absolute superstar, Ferencváros player Dusan Mandic. Dusan, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for joining us. How are you doing?
Thank you very much. Everything is fine. Thank you. Nice to see you.
Great. And obviously, we're going to be talking about the Final 4. Obviously, next Wednesday, a huge game against your former club, Novi Beograd. Just before we go into that, obviously this year the format's been slightly different. We've spoken to the others about that. Obviously, there's a different group stages and now a Final 4. As a player, how has this impacted you? Do you prefer this format?
I think it's a better format. Especially, I think that the last tournament, the final tournament, is Final 4, not Final 8. I think this is great, and also that they gave us 1 day to rest in between the both matches. I think this is very good, and it's going to impact so the players will be able to give their best, to show their best. They will two games in 3 days it's okay. I remember we played 3 days, 3 games in 3 days. I think the last day it's a lot of tiredness for everybody, and simply at the end it's not the most beautiful water polo that could be. And I think this year in Malta, I'm absolutely sure that it will be much better.
Yeah, it's a bit much, 3 games in 3 days, and sort of if you're not competing for the title, you sort of wonder why you're there, really. But obviously the last few seasons it's been hosted in Belgrade, a city you know really well, but obviously it's now on the move. It's always nice to play elsewhere. What are your expectations of Malta? Have you ever played there? Have you ever been on the island?
Honestly, I was never in Malta, so I'm excited. I know that they are very passionate about water polo, and also I know a lot of players who played in their summer league, and they told me their impressions about their summer league, and everybody, most of them enjoyed, and the crowds really, they're true water polo lovers, as I've heard. So. I'm expecting it's good that it's also the open pool. I think this sport is completely different when you play outside. It's completely another thing under the reflectors during the night in the summer. It's one of the most beautiful times to play. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah. It's just sometimes when we play outdoors, it always seems to rain. But when we play indoors, it's always super hot weather.
What to do? That's the worst for the people, for the crowd. Yeah, for us, it doesn't matter yet.
Yeah, obviously. And you've played in a few Champions League finals. You obviously won a few. Do you have a favourite memory from previous sort of Champions League final eights or Champions League wins?
Yes. Of course, the 2 most memorable are the 2 that I won, like 2011 at Rome for Italico. Partizan versus Prorecco was one amazing final with also a lot of our Partizan fans there. That was the one, and the last one was with Recco in Belgrade. These are the 2 ones. Yeah, against Ferencvaros was back then. Now I'm on this side, and I'm happy, and I would like to repeat the same success with Ferencvaros.
Yeah, let's keep that quiet. Let's not mention that to any of the guys in your team. Okay. Obviously, you are on the other side now, and you've made the move to Budapest. And from my experience, from what I've seen so far this season, there seems to be a really good atmosphere, quite a hopeful atmosphere, good chemistry between all of the guys at Ferencvaros. So how much have you enjoyed this season so far, your first season in Budapest?
The Budapest has been, I think, the best decision that I could have made after everything what happened in Belgrade. And from every person who works in this club, from the president until the low, like everybody, really everybody is really committed to Ferencvaros, to this Fradi community, and it's you immediately feel that everybody really lives for Fradi. Everybody takes care, very good reputation of it, and protects that, and huge professionalism, huge respect from both sides, and when things are settled like that, it's hard not to feel great and not to enjoy it, and not to enjoy in every moment, every practice, every going to that complex, which is like a sanctuary. Like it's I really like it a lot.
Yeah, that's great to hear. And obviously, we're here to talk about the Champions League, so let's talk about it. Novi Beograd, a club you know very, very well. What can you tell us about them? How difficult is this semi-final going to be?
For sure, it's going to be a very difficult semi-final. I mean, it's the final 4 of the Champions League, so the best 4 teams for sure are there, and any match, it's going to be very, very difficult. They have a lot of great superstars, and like Filipovic, Pietlovic, Granados. Not to continue, but their whole team is full of top players. So, but as you said, like I know them well, and We will see. We will see. Simply, who wants it more, who is going to be more calm in that game and focused on what you need to do. I think that team will win.
Yeah, there's one player on the other team we want to focus on in particular, and if anyone knows the answer to this, it should probably be you. I would say probably the most dangerous player around the 2 meter zone is definitely your sort of national teammate, Nikola Jaksic. While he's on the post, he's amazing at positioning himself, particularly in between the defender. And when he gets that ball in around those areas, for me, he's unstoppable.
Yes.
Your teammates, you and your teammates don't need to be told that, and you don't need to be told how good he is. But how do you go about stopping that sort of situation?
He is not going to play against us. This is the information that we got from the land, because he got a red card on their last game against Reco. So the information that we have is that he's not allowed to play that match.
Wow, so that's how you stop him. You don't need to worry about him.
That's this is now, you mentioned, but he is of course really strong there, and now we do not need to think about that at this moment.
Do you think that changes the dynamic of the game at all?
Sorry?
Do you think that changes the dynamic of the game? Do you think that changes
it could be,
approach?
But from my experience, every time when there is in some other team that if some good player is not going to play in that team, that is like two-sided sword, if you understand me, because at the same point immediately everybody else knows that they need to contribute a little bit more than usual. So I don't think that's a big advantage for us, because I expect everybody from all the others, there is still a lot of great players there. So we are focusing on us, on our play, on our tactics, and I think if we stick to that, I believe in victory.
Yeah,
Definitely, and obviously you do know the team quite well. Is there a player that you miss playing with, club Waterpolo with? I know there are a lot of those Novi Beograd players are your international teammates. Is there a player that you miss playing alongside?
I miss the guys from the national team, as you can assume, but at this point, I'm not thinking really about that. My full focus is on us and what we need to do, and I don't miss now anything. I just am focused on that match.
Yeah, just one more question before we go. Do you think you have to prove anything particularly in this semi-final against Novi Beograd?
I don't think so.
No, neither do I. But anyway, Dusan, look, I've really enjoyed you playing this season, and I've obviously really enjoyed this chat as well. Thank you so much for your time, and best of luck for the Final Four.
Thank you very much, James. Good luck to you also.